Hey, what's up guys, SK here, and today we're going to do a before you buy video on Black Desert. This one's going to be mainly focused towards PlayStation 4 players, but it can actually work for PC players and Xbox players as well. People who are looking to get into the genre of MMO games and are interested in Black Desert as a whole. Now, this video, I'm going to try to keep my personal opinions out of it when it comes to some of these things. There is one thing that I will put my personal opinion in, because it's a very unique it's a very touchy subject when it comes to this game in particular, and I'm going to tell you guys when that comes up, so if you want to skip that, you can go ahead and skip that. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. So aside from this being number one, the number one question I actually get a lot is, should I pre-order and why, when it comes to BDO PS4 coming out in August. And I usually tell people, when it comes to pre-ordering is only to solidify a few time-limited items and get you a little deal when it comes to the pro items, get you a costume, get you a bunch of pearls, and a few pets as well. And that's pretty much it when it comes to pre-ordering. If you have the money to pre-order and you feel like the set is worth how much it is, because it obviously is worth how much is put as the price, then go ahead and pre-order. But if you don't have the money to pre-order and you're not sure if you're actually going to play the game for a long period of time, don't pre-order it. That's just my honest thought on that, because there's no reason to pre-order this game, pay $100 for it, and then never play it again after day one of realizing you don't like the combat, or you don't like the community, or you don't like, something else in the game or whatever, or the game makes your PS4 run hot or something. It's just, those things will make you really want to think about if you're actually going to be able to pre-order it or not. So this is a question I've seen floating on the Discord, and it's a very good question, because Black Desert has had varying prices throughout its PC career and through Xbox when it first came out. And the answer is, honestly, prices will change. I'm not sure how well the prices will change, because right now the base price of the game for PC is $9.99. It was that for Xbox for I think at least a few weeks, and then they made it to where if you had Xbox Game Pass, you got the game for free. So I'm not sure if they're going to do the same thing with PlayStation Plus, or if they're just going to make you pay $9.99 for the game as the base price, and that's it. But that being said, the prices will change, and the items in the packages will also change. So that's something to keep in mind when it comes to if you're going to wait to go ahead and buy the game at a cheaper price or something, that you won't be able to get the same items that you do, like the limited time items, being the pre-order outfits or anything like the Shoe Dad outfit, or the T2 Foggin pet, which is a limited time pet. So keep that in mind when you're making your choice. So another thing to know about the game is that the classes are gender locked, and don't let that really persuade you from trying out the game, because some classes do have the counterpart to their classes. The gameplay does change drastically for some of the counterparts, but for others it's kind of pretty much the same. As far as I know, they are working on a counterpart for some of the classes that are already in game that don't have them, but only time can tell what's going to happen. So people will ask me, why should they play Black Desert versus other MMOs that are on console, like Terra or Neverwinter or Skyforge, if you want to count that as an MMO, or Final Fantasy when it comes to being on PlayStation 4. And this is not really an opinion piece when it comes to it. Black Desert has a lot to offer. It has so much you can do in the game. The game is more than just another MMO. It's kind of a second life, and you're gonna find your time investing a lot of time in the Black Desert when it comes to just being a part of the game. At first it might seem like it's a lot to take in, but once you get used to your daily grind, you're gonna find out that everything is just pretty much bread and butter, and you're gonna be able to stick to what you want to do. And if you don't want to do something, you can find billions of other things to do in this game. Not really billions, because no game offers that many things to do, but there are a ton of things to do in this game versus other MMOs. And I'll get into that in another video if you guys choose. Let me know in the comments. seen the question pop up so many times, and it's funny that it keeps popping up. Is this game grindy? This game is very grindy once you reach a certain point in the game. And everything in the game has to do with pretty much a variation of grinding when it comes to either life skilling or PvE or just PvP, because PvP is a grind as well. It's a grind to keep up your gears, it's a grind to keep up your skill. So yes, this game is very grindy. It is not a light grinded game like other MMOs where you can just, you know, breeze through the levels. It's gonna take some time if you plan on getting to higher levels. This is one of the most asked questions I've seen on Discord and in comments on Twitter, on Facebook pages and everything. This question is pretty much the plague of Black Desert. Is a game pay to win? Now, in the term of pay to win, as in you can pay and automatically become stronger than someone and be able to overtake a certain area because you've paid this much money to, say, have a chance to enhance or get better gear than someone that someone else can't get at all. The game is not pay to win. If you are someone that can pour enough money into this game consecutively and upkeep your gear consecutively, and I'm talking about thousands of dollars upon thousands of dollars constantly, if you're someone that can do that, then yes, this game will be pay to win for you. But for the average person playing this game won't be pay to win. You won't run into those people that spend a ton of money on the game as often as you run into a regular average Joe. Everything in this game can be earned by grinding. Everything in this game can be earned through in-game currency. Everything in this game can be earned by just playing the game. Yes, you can pay money to get things faster. Yes, you do spend money to get pets that auto pick up for you, but in correlation to that, you do get a lot of free pets through events that the game just happens to give out. And there are a lot of free pets that the game gives out, the GMs give out through events, or just being logged in or from being in a guild. I think I ended up with 4 pets since the game started, and that was just from me playing the beta, me linking my account. I believe one was from me buying the pre-order. No, 2 of them were from me buying the pre-order pack, and then one of them was from a login event, and then I got another one from a login event as well. So I have 6 pets that are just sitting around, and like I said, 4 of those are just from events. So you'll see things like that. Like, people will say that this game is pay to win, and it's a matter of, do you want to view it as pay to win? Because there's no way that anyone that spends money is going to impact what you do personally in the game. They won't out damage you in a raid. They won't do anything to get in your way when it comes to progressing in the game. You can progress just as well as they do, and the gap between being pay to win, which is in the state of this game the term full pin, the gap between full pin and full tet, a lot of people that go full pin have quit. The people that are still around, they don't really enjoy the game anymore. So it's a very tricky slide when it comes to this pay to win thing. I've known pay to win to be a whole different thing when it comes to video games. So I wanted to actually speak on this subject personally, and I really don't want to do it right now in this video. I might do it later on. Let me know what you guys think in the comments when it comes to this. But the game isn't pay to win in the terms of money will get you better items, or get you a better drop rate, or get you things like that. Because, like I said, you can earn everything in the game just by grinding, the same way someone that spends a bunch of money in the game would. This is another question I've seen floating around the Discord and on Facebook. And it's a pretty fair question, because a lot of people don't understand when it comes to BDO, like, if the 2-day early access is going to affect them or not. And more than likely it won't affect you, because the grind spots are going to be taken earlier with the 2-day early access, and that's pretty much it. But there are multiple grind spots. There are going to be multiple channels. I'm hoping they realize that the PS4 population is going to be a lot more dense than the Xbox population. Like, there are going to be a lot more people on PlayStation for the actual launch of the game than on Xbox, I believe personally. But I hope they realize that and have the servers prepared for that. But as for not getting the early access of 2 days into the game, it won't affect you that much. You're just going to be 2 days behind in progress. And a lot of people that get the early access, the 2-day early access, won't even know what to do with those extra 2 days. Like personally, I'm going to get the 2 days and I'm going to grind my butt off. I'm going to spend time trying to advance my gear as soon as possible, and I'm going to go for max energy as soon as possible, which is how I'm going to spend my first 2 days. So if you have a set path that you want to accomplish before people get into the game, or if you want to get to a spot before other people get there, then yes, pre-order. If you don't really mind, the clutter of people being on the same server as you when the game launches, then go ahead and buy it when it launches. I mean, that's pretty much as simple as it is. As I said, go ahead and watch some guides, take some time and learn things about the game before the game comes out, so you can know what you're going to do when the game comes out. Because I'm going to say this, and it's funny because a lot of Xbox players, they watch guides, they thought they knew what they were going to do, they thought they knew everything when the game came out, and then when they got into early access, they had no idea what they were doing. People were being inefficient, and it just all comes down to trying to research what you want to do when the game comes out. If you want a life skill, find out what you're going to have to do to start life skilling at the level you want to life skill and stick to that. If you want to be a PvP lord, find out, join the Discord for the PvP for your class. For that class, because there are a lot of people on there that will help you learn combos and learn your juggles and stuff like that when it comes to PvP. My point is, there are a lot of informational tools out there for Black Desert that have been out for the last 5 years or so since I've been playing the game, and they are very helpful when it comes to getting you to learn to play the game. There are informations on knowledge guides, CP gains, on how to use your skill points, what's the best way to set up your skills, things like that. There are so many things out there to help you play this game, and a lot of people don't tend to use them. They'd rather just go ask another person. I'm telling you right now, take time to learn some of this stuff. You don't have to learn everything, but take the time to learn something that you want to focus on. So I feel like that should be the mantra for this game, and that is BDO is not a sprint. It is a very long marathon, and there will always be something for you to do. There will always be some way for you to progress in the game. There's always going to be something new for you to do in the game, and content will continuously come out as far as Perlabiz plans it. So don't try to rush. Like I said, people will burn themselves out trying to sprint, thinking they're going to reach the end, and there is no end in sight. That's just honest truth. There's always going to be something to replace what you have to make it better. And once you learn that about this game, once you get that into your head, then you're going to be able to understand and play this game at a level that gives you more enjoyment than some of these people that have already quit because they tried to rush through and get everything done. It's not possible to get things done, like to get things completely done. The game is going to be here for a very long time, so take your time and enjoy it. That is one thing I love to tell people. Take your time, enjoy it. Do not sprint, because you will be tired of it, you will get burnt out, and you will quit. And then you'll regret putting as much money as you did into it. I've been burnt out a few times trying to level up my wizard way back on PC. And that was my own fault because I thought I had to rush and keep up with certain people, which I really didn't need to, and I found that out, and I was happier for it. I know people are going to want to cry heresy and have me tried as a witch for saying this, but BDO is primarily a PvP game. Yes, you can do things in the game that make life skilling, a primary part of your gameplay, but the rest of BDO will always be a PvP game. Once you step outside of town, you put yourself at risk to be locked into PvP, as long as you're above level 50. So if you decide to level up to level 49 and stay level 49 on your character to stay life skill and PvE only, that is perfectly up to you. You can do that if you want. Once you're level 50, BDO is a PvP game outside of towns. there's a thing that happens with every MMO that comes out where people create guilds and discords and everything, you know, the whole setup for the game that's coming out. And a lot of people get into these guilds and they think, you know, the guild is about one thing, and they don't fully understand that the guild is about that thing. And this is primarily speaking towards PvP guilds, because a lot of people don't understand when they join a PvP guild, it's going to take a lot of dedication to stay in that PvP guild. It's going to take a lot of work to keep up with the people in that PvP guild. Those people in that guild, they have their mindset on what they're planning on doing, especially the high-end PvP guilds, which there will be hopefully a few of them on PlayStation. Because, well, not because anything, but these guilds are going to require you to do a lot. They're going to require you to keep up with your gear score, keep up with your AP and DP, keep up with your knowledge of skills, be able to participate in wars, be able to be on when they need you to be on for guild node wars and conquests and things like that. And some of them are strict, some of them aren't strict about these requirements and these attendance days and stuff like that. But for the most part, when you're getting into these guilds, you need to know what you're going into. Because I had the experience of being on Xbox, so I joined my first PvP guild, and I was able to keep up with the requirements. But in the end, I just didn't want to be in the guild because I didn't want to have to keep up with the requirements. Even though I am a very serious player when it comes to BDO, I can keep up with any requirements put before me. I just don't want to have the burden of having to meet a deadline to do it, if that makes sense. Like, I hate being told, like, you know, you need to do this by now, because, and then there's no further, like, you know, there's no reward to it behind anything else, especially when it comes to being in the guild. Because a lot of these guilds, whenever they lose a war or something like that, they tend to fall apart, especially the comp guilds. When they lose a war, they fall apart, and that's it for that guild. So primarily my point here is that when you join one of these pre-gamed guilds, just know that a PvP guild isn't for everyone, and you're not any less of a person for not being able to keep up with what they want. And the LifeSkill guild isn't for everyone. But a lot of LifeSkill guilds aren't super hardcore, but there are the LifeSkill guilds that are very hardcore, that they're like, you know, you gotta have this certain set of life skills at a certain level. You have to have this much million in your storage at all times. There's a guild like that on PC that I was in. It was kind of weird for me. I'm not sure if I'm actually still in that guild anymore, but yeah, it was kind of a weird deal to be in a competitive LifeSkill guild. But I guess it's also okay to mention that guild was actually in the lower tier node war, so they did want to keep their node as well, which is probably why they had those type of restrictions and regulations. My main point is, if you are joining one of these pre-game guilds, don't feel bad if you can't keep up with the restrictions once the game launch, because there are going to be many guilds out there. There are going to be a lot of guilds with less requirements, guilds that are competitive, but they're just saying on less requirements because they're in a lower tier for node wars or whatever. Take nothing else from this video, just take this to heart. Play the game your way. It's gonna be your game. You bought it, you paid for it, and just enjoy it as best you can. Don't do it for anyone else, do it for yourself. And when I say don't follow the hype, I mean don't follow the hype specifically when it comes to playing classes. A lot of people will tell you that this class is so overpowered, this class is overpowered. But once you get on that class, you can't play that class because it just doesn't feel right. That's just how it is about some classes. Some classes feel right to play, some classes don't. If you're a certain type of player and you want to play and you only play magic classes, and someone tells you, oh hey, play Striker because Striker's super overpowered, well, you're going to go on Striker and you're not going to like Striker because you pretty much just spam 2 moves over and over, and that's it. But of course, that's just a rough example. I hope you guys found this video useful when it comes to thinking about what you're going to do when it comes to Black Desert, when it comes to before you buy, after you buy, and how you're going to play the game. Like, subscribe, and share, and pass it along to anyone else that might be having, issues thinking about what they're going to do. Peace, guys.